This is Job chapter 9, verse 4 from the King James Version. The words are spoken by Job, a man introduced at the beginning of the book as upright and faithful to God. By chapter 9, he has lost his children, his possessions, and his health. He is sitting in grief while his friends insist that suffering must always be the result of personal sin. Job knows his situation is not that simple, yet he also knows that God is greater than his understanding. In that tension, he speaks. He is wise in heart and mighty in strength, who hath hardened himself against him, and hath prospered. Job 9, verse 4, King James Version. The statement is direct and unembellished. Job first affirms that God is wise in heart. In a language of the ancient world, the heart was the center of thought and intention. Job is declaring that God's wisdom is complete and internally perfect. Nothing in God is confused or misjudged. He then says that God is mighty in strength. This is not ordinary power. In this chapter, Job describes God moving mountains and commanding the natural world. The strength he speaks of belongs to the Creator, not to a ruler who can be challenged. The final question carries the central truth: who hath hardened himself against him, and hath prospered? To harden oneself is to resist stubbornly, to stand in opposition. Job's question expects no answer. No one ultimately succeeds by setting himself against God. The single truth at the center of this verse is clear. God's wisdom and power cannot be overturned by human resistance. For Job, this acknowledgement does not remove his suffering. He remains in physical pain, sitting in dust, misunderstood by his friends. The verse does not solve his loss. It establishes reality. God is not subject to human correction or defeat. For the present listener, the meaning remains steady. Human understanding is limited. Human strength is temporary. Lasting prosperity does not come from resisting the one who is perfectly wise and strong. There is quiet stability in recognizing what cannot be changed. If these words bring clarity, remain with them and return when you need that steadiness again. Subscribe to Jesus-DailyVerse for calm, scripture-rooted reflection